Hey, welcome back. So we're back at our house. We just watched the pups for our kids. We were back near them for a couple weeks and we thought we'd show you what we spend our time on, which is mostly the yard. So I'm gonna head to the gym. So I'm dressed and ready to go. And Jack's gonna cut the grass today.
This is my gym.
For today. And so he's going to cut the grass. We have some bare spots in the yard that we've been fighting all spring. And so I thought I'd walk you around, and if you have a southern lawn and you have any solutions for this, we seem to have this problem every single spring. We get all these bare spots in our yard and it's very hard to get the grass to grow. So Jack, I don't know, as we walk around, why don't you talk about the grass?
We're trying something, so we haven't lived here long, and we're used to having northern grass.
Yep.
And here the contractor put in centipede grass. We're not used to centipede at all, and we're not having a lot of success with it. And we're trying something that a lot of people say don't do. Our neighbor down the street had really good success with mixing in a whole bunch of different kinds of grasses in his yard, and honestly I think it looks great.
Yeah.
So that is what we're trying. Start with centipede, and then we added Bermuda, and now we're just a few weeks ago we put in ryegrass and oh gosh, I'm blanking.
Tall fescue.
Tall fescue.
Yeah.
So 4 types of grass. But honestly, our neighbors had success with this, and I think we will too.
Yeah, at first I thought, well, it might look patchy, so we're going to see.
It might look patchy.
It might look patchy, but the great thing about mixing it is that in the wintertime, the centipede and the Bermuda turn this brown color. And hopefully by mixing it, we'll have some green in the lawn in the winter months, and we'll have a green lawn in the summer months as well.
And we'll avoid these like monster size, pretty large bare spots. And we just want something to grow there besides
the big dirt spots,
yeah,
which looks terrible. Anything would look better than the dirt spots, to include weeds. And we've actually had that discussion, you know, gosh, we were trying to get rid of weeds, and now we'd love to have weeds in those places. We're going to walk and do a walk and talk with the yard and what we're doing garden wise, and then I'm going to show you my garden journal because I have no memory. So this is going to become part of the footage in the garden journal, because every year I can't really remember what we planted, when it bloomed, you know, what worked, what didn't work. And so we try to do this every year and put it in a garden journal. Let's start out in the very back, and I'm going to show you trees that we planted. This is actually our property all the way up to this berm, but because there's a drainage pond there, this is all an easement, so we couldn't have our fence go all the way back to the to our true property line. So our fence, there's Jack, there's our fence. And funny story, this crepe myrtle here, which is actually blooming, it's got a couple little white blooms on it. It was in the front yard when we first moved in. Yeah, look at that, isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. And we moved it. I didn't want it in the front yard, so we moved it to where that little garden is there, and then realized the fence had to go there because we put the fence in after we moved in. So we moved the tree from there to there. So I am shocked that it's lived. So it does. I'm so pleased. I didn't want it to die. So thank goodness it made it. I'm very upset about my 2 Memphis Belle magnolias. So we have one there and one there that we planted. And they were the same height when we planted them, but this guy is growing ever so slowly. And I'm gonna show you what happens to it. The deer, I think it's the deer, chomp it. The last time we were here, every leaf was chomped. It was like a deer buffet. But at least it's getting new growth. And I see leaves that have not been.
Oh gosh, look at that.
I know.
They're all
look at
got it all.
that. And some leaves that have not been chomped. But it's always kind of been a little stunted in growth. It got to about, it's probably about 2.5 feet. It never grew at the same rate as that guy down there. So this guy here was our champ. It was probably over 5 feet tall. It was taller than me, and I cut it because last winter we got a snow, believe it or not, and I think it killed this poor little Memphis bell. Although there is new growth and it's going to come back, but it really took a hit. The whole main center stalk looks pretty bad. So I'm going to have to do some read up on that and figure out how best to take care of it until it recovers again. But bummer. That's a bummer. It's like all the plants are doing well. They've grown. They were just one little teeny tiny one that looked like that when I planted them. So they're taking off, which is nice.
This one's doing really well. What's this?
That's a milkweed, I think.
Oh, okay.
You little stinker. Every year I document the plants that I plant, how well they do. And this is a gardenia bush that just completely died last year. So we lost that. So that's going to go in the garden journal because I'll never remember what happened. And these are vinca, and vincas are just champs. And that's a mandevilla. I just planted that the last time we were here as well. And so I'm going to take pictures of all of that and put it in the garden journal. And I got a weed. Lots of weeding. Here's our pots. I can't remember what's in those. It's like latana, I think. And it's doing well with the sprinklers, so we haven't been here to do any specialized watering. This is the best the backyard's looked in the spring every year we've been here, but we do get these bare spots. So we had actually hired somebody to come and cut the grass for us when we were gone, but we had to call them off because wherever they turn the lawnmower, it was tearing up the grass, believe it or not. So we said, well, let's not have them come. We'll do hand mowing until we can get the grass reestablished. This is my hydrangea, which is growing, but it's not so pretty. Rosebush. That, hon. I had all of these weeds done the last time we were here. And these Japanese hollies look pretty good. Like they're surviving well. We think something's underground. So this was a giant bare spot, a big circular spot where it was just dead grass. So it's filling in nicely, hon. It really is. This is our front yard. We're losing our gardenias, unfortunately. So, well, actually, they're not looking terrible, but this spring they were twig-like. Actually, this guy's coming back. Nice. So I'm going to fertilize those and see if we can get those looking healthier. And then we've got plants in there, and these Burford hollies are so pretty. Look at your plant, hon. It's really perking up there. Yeah, but this is really the bane of our existence. Is this? Why in the front yard? Why would it have to be the front yard? Look at this. These were giant bare spots. So,
he's a frog.
Oh, yep. Little froggy. Giant bare spots, and they don't seem to be seeding all that well. Meaning the seed doesn't seem to grow very well. Look at that. So we had these huge like bare spots that kind of went like around and down, and we're here. I mean, just the whole front yard. And this is the second time that we've been through this at all that clover. And
get on it.
I know. Really bad out here towards the street. big bare spot. That actually is seeding in fairly well, although it's still pretty big. And look at all that clover. I'm not even worried about the clover right now, right? We just want the bare spots to fill in. And this is our little flower bed in the front. And palm trees. This palm tree is just a year old.
Doing great.
Yeah, it's doing great. So we're really happy with that, how nice and green it looks. And our little pindo palm, which was really in bad shape. I thought it died a couple years ago, and look at it now. We've been feeding it and fungiciding it, and it's looking awesome. So that's a little tour of our yard. So today Jack is he's gonna get out the lawnmower and cut the grass, and that's gonna be your workout for the day.
Gotta get on it.
Gotta get on it. And I'm heading to the gym. I'm gonna do my normal workout. Thank you for cutting the grass so I don't have to. And man, I got eaten up just in the couple minutes of walking the yard. It's ridiculous.
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature, she's something else. So anyway, I'll show you the garden journal that I keep, and it might be helpful to you. I don't know. I can't remember anything.
No.
So I need pictures
Definitely.
and a history and dates when we seeded and what did we seed and all of that stuff to help remember it. Anyways, but this is what we do. We got back here, and you can
Waste
see
time.
how much yard work we have to do especially when we first get here, to get the yard straightened out. Hope you have a good day.
Oh.
So excited to show you our garden journal. So I keep everything organized in a Word document, and it includes a chronological history of each area of the yard. For example, we have, grass, and the history of the grass. When we apply insecticide, each of the flower beds has a section by year. There are photographs, and we try to keep track of the details of each of the insecticides, fertilizers, weed and feed types we use, seed types, etc. And we capture this. We used to capture this in notes, emails, reminders to ourselves, photo snaps of the labels of the things that we bought, but it was in different places, and it certainly wasn't a full history of what had happened. So now we take all of this information and we put it in this Word document. And what I like to do is I like to split the screen so that I can compare. As an example, the top panel is 2024 and the bottom panel is 2025. So I can read and see pictures of what it looked like last year, and then I can read about what we did and what it looked like this year. And it really helps. If you have a memory that's as bad as mine, it really helps to put all the puzzle pieces together when you're trying to troubleshoot something like bare spots, for example. At the end of the document, I have a section that is dedicated to just summarizing plants which survived and came back. We know we can use those again in different places, and then also plants which died and did not come back, and so we want to make sure we don't plant those again, or we have to refine how we're handling those plants. And then I have a section which is a composite plant maintenance plan, so just general guidelines plant by plant for watering, what we plan to do in the winter, the spring, the summer, and the fall, including pruning and fertilizing and things like that. It could definitely be enhanced, but it really is helpful to have a summary that says in the spring, do the following things to the plants all the way around the yard. Jack is into the grass. I had hoped gardening was going to be a hobby of mine in retirement. I think we're both struggling a little bit to get the fundamentals down on working in a different climate with different soil than we're used to. So this journal is really helping us to troubleshoot and remember what we did, what worked, what didn't work, formulate a plan of attack. So we hope it will help us avoid wasting money and time. As you guys know, seed and plants are really expensive, so we want to try to get this down as quickly as we can. And also a kind of a cool outcome of doing this is that it's helping us to eliminate paper and digital clutter, because we can now consolidate all those plants and product labels, notes that we have on our computer and handwritten, all that are kind of scattered all over the place, emails, and pictures that we don't really need to keep once they're in the journal. For example, a picture like this, it's not a keepsake for the family. It's really just documenting how well a plant is doing and growing. So we can trash all of those miscellaneous things and clean up our computers, clean up our drawers, clean out our garage, get rid of all of that extraneous information, and have something that's really consolidated and works better. So anyway, I hope that if you're having trouble with your yard, you might get a good idea about using a garden journal to help, or if you're trying to declutter, it's a great tool for that as well. I just got back from the gym and I just wanted to show you Jack's hard work. Yeah, and you can really see the bare spots a lot easier after having cut the grass. And believe it or not, it was way worse than that. It's getting better. It's just, you know, you work so hard, and I feel like we shred dollar bills and spread them on the ground to make the yard look nice. Let's go find Jack. Look at how nice it looks. It looks so much better cut though, even with the bare spots. It just looks so nice cut. Now I gotta weed, do my part and weed. There he is, cutting the yard. And it's getting hot. It's supposed to be like 90 degrees today, I think. Might even be there. Hope to see you in the next video.